Hey, what's going on, my friends? It's your man Adam Ace Spencer, and today we are gonna take a look at my Credit Karma direct dispute update. As you guys can see here, I got an email from Credit Karma, and title of the email is Dispute Update Investigation Underway. Let's take a look at the email. It says, Adam, here's your direct dispute update. And we can see down here, we got kind of a little timeline submitted to TransUnion, check, in review, check, and it's now completed. Down here it says, it looks like TransUnion finished investigating your dispute. The results will be updated within 7 days. In the meantime, feel free to check your Credit Karma account until your report is updated. So the question is, will it be updated to show the results of my direct dispute? That is the question. See the results. So here we are inside of Credit Karma, the dispute center in partnership with TransUnion, and the results are in from your latest dispute. If TransUnion was able to make changes to your credit report based on information you provided, they made those changes. Otherwise, TransUnion asked the company reporting the information you disputed to investigate. So I had submitted my dispute on December 31st, 2022, the last day of the year, and it was technically completed about a week ago on February 8th, 2023. So it took just over a month, which because of the holidays, New Year, I can imagine that probably was eating away at this. Usually it should take a month at most, but this took a month and a week. So I think it was because of the timing, but it's all good. Because as we scroll down, you can see item in dispute is Community Capital Bank, Adorama, I think was the actual website, the company. And you can see dispute reason was accuracy. The payment history rating is incorrect. This is all I wrote as my dispute. So I see a lot of these credit guru people on YouTube saying you gotta have this crazy elaborate, the most sophisticated, dispute letters, and it's like you really don't if what is being shown is pretty straightforward. And in this case, it was literally, it was pretty straightforward. It was just a incorrect information regarding a late payment for one particular month. So it really is pretty simple. You do not need all these crazy hardcore. You don't got to spend $1 trillion. I literally did all of this. I filed my dispute here inside of Credit Karma for free. I did not pay anyone to educate me on this. I may have read up on it a bit here and there on a few blog posts. I may have watched a video or two, but otherwise, this was not something where I spent a fortune to try to improve my credit report, my credit history, my credit account. And as you guys can see here, we have the results, which says information updated on this item. TransUnion investigated your dispute and updated the information you flagged, as well as other information for this item on your report. So let's see my current report. So as we can see, we have my current credit score up here, which, this has been what it is, but I do believe we had seen a positive impact with that dispute taking place already about like 2 weeks ago, when I think the issue was first brought to their attention. So although they're just getting me the investigation results, I think on their end it was already updated in their system. And now when I scroll down to the actual account and I open it up, we can see it says you're currently using 0% of your account's limit, monthly payment 0, opened back in 2018, account status paid, right? That's what we want. Times 30, 60, 90 days late, 0, 0, 0. Account closed by consumer. I closed it myself. Amount past due, $0. Current payment status, current. In other words, I do not need to come down here and click on file, a dispute an error, because we have already done it. And as we are seeing the results right here, it worked because I previously showed one late payment and I was able to have it removed because it was inaccurate information based off of their data, right? If they look in their systems right now and go back to that particular month, well, in this particular case, we do not have any late payment showing up. And so even if you think, you're like, well, I know there was at one time I slipped up with that particular company, I think it's worthwhile to, as I always say, shoot your shot, right? You're definitely not going to get any dispute, anything like this removed from your credit report if you don't try. Even if you're like, well, it was true, you can still reach out to the company about potentially having it removed, especially if you've always been in good standing with them. If all of your other payments are on time and you're usually financially savvy when it comes to any of those payments, well, they'll be potentially willing to remove that one late payment because they know how detrimental it is when it comes to your credit account, your credit history, and your credit score, especially during this current economy. You want to get the best interest rates possible. I mean, you always do, but right now, I mean, as interest rates are continuing to go up, I mean, if you go get a new credit card, if you go get a car, it's kind of crazy, and who knows how much higher things are going to get. So again, you want to put yourself in the best position as possible, which means improving your credit score. So in this case, as you guys can see, I was able to dispute one late payment, pretty much the only negative thing on my whole credit account, my credit history, that had been bogging things down, which it wasn't even that noticeable. And I will maybe make another video trying to do a before and after, showing you guys, I'm pretty sure I have a video or two, or at least a screenshot showing, that late payment here, and how it looked like it was still in good standing. It didn't say I was in bad standing. I mean, I believe it had just said what it says now, which is closed, but it didn't appear to be something that was negatively impacting my score. However, so I filed these disputes first with Equifax and then with TransUnion. And, again, you can see it pretty much jump up. This is TransUnion, and you can see it was always right below that 800 line. For not always, but for quite a while, you can see it was just in that 790 zone, and I couldn't break the 800 club, and I couldn't figure out why. Now, that wasn't the case really in this particular example with TransUnion, because this was the case with Equifax like the end of last year. And it wasn't until I really looked into my credit report, my credit history, all of the individual accounts one by one, to see, okay, what is keeping me from getting that 800 score now that, I don't have any debt. I have various credit accounts. My history is doing well. I mean, we can look at pretty much these different metrics here, and you can see they were all doing well. They were all green. And even here, I mean, credit age, this is about to be 4 years, and it would be longer. I can make another video diving into that. It'd be much longer, actually, had I not closed another account. But in any case, everything was doing well, and I couldn't quite figure out why I can't break into the 800 club. And like I said, it wasn't until I dove into all of my accounts, and even if it says closed and in good standing, there might be something in there that's still preventing it from being perfect. And it might appear to be doing well, but that one late payment was holding me back. And you can see, as I mentioned, I filed the dispute at the end of 2022, the last day of the year, basically. And it was about January 18th through the 24th when the dispute pretty much took effect. Now, I wasn't notified until just recently, as you guys just saw, but it pretty much took effect around the 23rd, and that's what propelled me up to the 800 club. And that's what we experienced with Equifax back in like December. Unfortunately, this won't take us back beyond that point, but ultimately we had that same exact experience, and now you can see we've just been chilling at about 813, 815, and that some of that will just really be contingent upon like my credit card usage, for example, where there might be a couple hundred or 1,000 or whatever that get on my credit cards, and that's kind of bringing it down a little bit. But hey, we're in 800 club, and the dispute works. So when people say Credit Karma, don't use Credit Karma, it's not effective, I say do not listen to them. Now, I'm not saying it's perfect, I'm not saying it's not flawed, but as you guys can see, that dispute worked, and it did help me improve my credit score. And I think a lot of you guys out there would also benefit by just jumping in here, creating a Credit Karma account, looking at all of your accounts, going through each one, and seeing if there's any negative components, anything that could be negatively affecting your score and preventing you from increasing your score as well. So my friends, if you found this video helpful, definitely smash that thumbs up. And while you are down below smashing that thumbs up, comment if you have any thoughts, any questions, any suggestions. I also use Nav to check on my credit, monitor my credit accounts. But Nav and Credit Karma have been solid for me. I use my DCU as well for my FICO score. And there's a few other options as well that I'll probably continue or start to explore this year in 2023. But let me know if you guys have any thoughts, any comments, any questions, any suggestions. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Hit that notification bell. That way you can stay up to date on all of our latest and upcoming video content like this video here.